Hello, lots of Tutor. Today we're looking at the sigma sign and how to use it and how it works. So I'm going to look at an arithmetic example and then a geometric example. So this is your typical example. Alright, the R here, R is 1, it's what you input to get the first value, to get the value of the first term. So 4, input 1, plus 1, that is going to give you 5. So the value of the first term is 5, right? If R was 2, the first term would be 4 times 2 plus 1, which would be 9. The 20 here, so any number on top, is up to how many terms you're adding. So up to how many terms you're going to find the sum of. So S of n, the n is basically 20, that's what it means. The 4r plus 1 here is the formula you use for getting the values of terms, alright? And you increase r by 1 each term until you get to 20. So the second term would be r is 2, so increase by 1, 4 times 2 plus 1, 9. The third term will be increase r by 1 again, you'll get to 3, so 4 times 3 plus 1, which is 13, alright? So the sigma sign basically means it's a way to find the sum of a sequence, alright? It's a notation, alright? So let's actually work this out. Alright, so the way I like to do this for arithmetic series is I use n over 2a plus l, because it's just easier and quicker. So n is 20, we're finding the sum up to 20 terms, and a is 5, alright, that's the first value of the first term, and l is 81, that's the value of the last term, because we're substituting 20 as the last value for r. So, we put these values into the equation, we get 860. Right? Remember, the sigma notation is just another way of saying S of n. In fact, your calculator actually has the sigma function in it, and you can use it to check your answer. I'll show you right now. Let me turn it on. Okay, so if you press Shift, then you go here. If your calculator is like mine, it has the sigma function. Alright, so what was it? It was 4x plus 1, well, it was 4r plus 1, but in here it's x instead of r, doesn't matter, and it goes up to 20, sorry, and it goes up to 20, alright, so that gives you 860, okay. Now, in your exam, they will tell you, evaluate, and they'll just give you this sigma notation, alright. You can put it into your calculator, and you can just write the answer 860, but that's not going to get you any marks, okay? You need to show you're working. So what I would do is I would use the long method, which I just showed you, and then I would check with the calculator, because then you have no excuse for getting the answer wrong, alright? Alright, have a go working out this for a geometric series. And pause video, and then I'll go through it. Okay. So I'm gonna need to use this formula. So what is a? What's the first term? 3 times input r is equal to 2. Not r is equal to 1, r is equal to 2. Alright, it's starting at 2. So to find the first term, we use r is 2, the first value for r. We get 12. Now we need to find the common ratio. And although it shows here, alright, this to me looks similar to AR to the n minus 1, but they're not the same thing, okay? So you'll look at 2 and you'll say this is the common ratio, but that's not always the case, okay? To prove it to you, alright, 3, if you were doing it this way, you would say 3 is A, but 3 is not A, 12 is A, okay? So be careful of that, alright? Don't just look here and think, oh, I can get everything from this formula. Alright, this is not AR to the n minus 1. So, I find the second and I divide by the previous, so I divide by the first and I get 2. R is 2, that's the common ratio. And n is 10, so 10 terms, alright, from 2, then all the way up to 11. So we're using 10 values for R. So there's 10 terms. So S of n is A, brackets r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1. Substitute in all the values and we get 12,276. Let me check with the calculator. Alright, equals... Yep, I'm a genius. So as we can see, the sigma notation is just a notation. It's another way for writing S of n. So don't be put off by it. It's really easy. This has been the Awesome Tutor. Bye.